I'm Beth Patel, and I'm the Youth Media Organizer for the Philadelphia Student Union.
Hi, I'm Tiana, and I'm a member of Philadelphia Student Union, and I'm also a youth radio producer for On Blast, PSU Radio's program. I recently created a radio piece on young people's oppression. When I walk into a store with my book bag, adult eyes watch me as I browse, and sometimes I'm even unable to go inside of the store because there's a sign outside saying no more than 2 teenagers in the store at once. At first, I simply thought that being treated like this sucked, but after participating in a workshop with PSU on young people's oppression, I decided to make a radio piece about it. I wanted to show people that this form of oppression is real. The Philadelphia Student Union exists to build the power of young people to demand a high-quality education in the Philadelphia public school system. We're learning how to organize to build power. We believe that young people must have a voice, and our youth-produced radio program, On Blast, is what we're going to focus on today. But you might be wondering, what does young people making media have to do with building power? At PSU, we see our media production as an organizing tool, and we're going to tell you why.
So PSU's introduction to media begins with political education. We facilitate youth-led workshops to help students identify the root causes of the systemic problems that young people face. So some of these workshops are how youth are represented in the mainstream media and why we need our own media, as well as core workshops about power and privilege, schools as a form of social control, and institutional racism. So we believe that in order to fight and to organize against these different forms of oppression, we need to understand how mainstream media creates narratives that keep the general public at ease with the status quo. So, for example, following a series of flash mobs in Philadelphia, the mainstream media was creating a dominant narrative of young people as violent criminals. And that only worked to further these oppressive stereotypes. So policymakers were acting on this narrative by imposing curfews and other illegal barriers to young people gathering in public. So PSU held a public nonviolent flash mob. On Blast radio members covered the action, and we used our radio show as a way to interrupt the mainstream narrative and change the story that was being told.
And this is what we continue to do: interrupt and change the story. As young people, we continue to be pushed out of conversations around school reform and public safety. Because of the stereotypes of young people as unruly and uncooperative, we need to change those narratives through the creation of our own media. We must change the story. We must confront the mainstream media that keeps us in our place and that keeps stereotypes alive and well. Young people have a deep analysis about their schools and communities. The public and those in power need to hear our voices. For On Blast, we choose the topics for our radio segments and decide who we will interview. We approach interviewing as a practice that can build relationships and illuminate connections between people and issues. On Blast members like myself also write our own narration and learn how to edit audio.
So a really important part of making any radio piece is research. Our base of students attend some of the most under-resourced, underfunded schools in the city. For some of our members, PSU's media programs are the only place where they're learning how to do self-directed and in-depth research on issues that they feel passionate about. So just like with organizing, we have to engage with young people on issues that they see every day. In a world where standardized testing is king, where assessment comes in the form of multiple choice bubbles, we must tap into the critical thinking that is at the core of organizing. Yet, we are not taught to enjoy learning, but to endure it. How are our public schools becoming beacons for critical thinking when they criminalize young people on a daily basis? 1 in every 3 young people arrested is arrested inside their own school. So making youth media is about reclaiming one's education. A researcher from Research for Action completed a year-long study of the effects of PSU's radio program on students. She found that On Blast members' literacy increased, and students were more motivated to engage in reading and writing activities both inside and outside of school. So youth media develops these leaders and critical thinkers that we need, and which are so essential to our organizing. And we also use our youth media to push forth the messages of our campaigns. So 2 years ago, we turned out over 2,000 people to a march to tell the governor to fund schools, not prisons. We were able to do that by sharing our youth-created radio pieces and media with our supporters and allies.
And that's where you come in. Just like we are organizing to reclaim our education, we need to reclaim the media. We are no longer passive media consumers. We live in a time where we have so much more agency about what we watch or listen to. We have the ability to make and share the media that supports the struggles that we're all a part of. So next time you see a piece of media made by a young person, tweet it, share it, or email it to a friend. In order to change the media landscape into one that is more just, we need all hands on deck. On your tweet deck. Go to www.phillystudentunion.org to find all youth media. Youth media is powerful because together young people are powerful. We are taking that power and organizing for a better world. Thank you.